Hey guys, Jason Guyman here with Christmas Lights Community, ChristmasLightsTraining.com. So today I wanted to show you, I had a question and I wanted to show you how we do gingerbread, when we do gingerbread. And I'll show you kind of how we put it under the shingles, how we put it under the ridge cap, and I'm also going to show you one other thing. So on houses, there are called, before I go into that, please go down and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 before Christmas. I know it's a pretty lofty goal, but that's my goal, so please help me out. I'd appreciate it very, very much. So I'm going to kind of give you some roof anatomy, so when I'm saying hips and ridges and valleys, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to do it that way, so that way you will understand what I'm talking about, okay? So the first thing is what we got in behind here. This is called a ridge going across here. Usually it has a ridge cap on it, and this is the very top peak of your house. This here is going to be a ridge going across here. This here is going to be a ridge going across right here. Those are called ridges. These are called valleys. Where the two come in is called a valley. And then the other thing you may have is called a hip. And what it usually will do is, usually your ridge won't be very long, and it's kind of like a ridge, but it's a hip coming down a house, and that's called a hip. When we're installing lights on these, obviously you want to be safe. I probably should be up here on a harness. This is not a very steep roof at all. This is, this roof here is super easy. Now, this roof you can walk with tennis shoes. I try not to get to the edge, and I'm actually about 4 feet from the edge. And so with that being said, just be careful up on roofs. Don't be stupid. Don't do something that you're not comfortable with. Don't do something that just because you're making $4 or $5, $6, I hope you're not making $4 or $5, that you're making $6, $7, $8 a foot, that you're not doing something stupid that's going to get you hurt, and you're not going to be able to make money because you fall off the roof and you either get hurt or die. Don't do it. It's not worth it. If you're getting on steep roofs, tie off with a harness, get the goat, get the hook that goes on the ladder. All that stuff that I'm talking about will be down in the description. Cougar paw shoes, they're $160. You can walk on it about any roof that you will trust them, but they will stick. But you have to, don't do something stupid. Don't get up on here and think that just because you're making $1,000, you fall off the roof. I don't want you to do that. Or if you're a homeowner, don't fall off a roof. If you want to do it yourself, that's fine. The goat's $600. The shoes are $150. You can put, if you're on your own house, go put a tie off there, so every time you come up you can tie off. You can buy them for like 40, 50 bucks. I'll have everything down in the links down below of where you can get it. It's all going to be on Amazon, and it'll come in 2 days usually. So don't do something stupid, especially a homeowner. Put a tie off back there. If you're going to do it all the time, just be safe. If you put a tie off back there, you are legally to be allowed up here. If you're a homeowner, OSHA don't really care if you're up here or not, because if you fall off, it's your own stupid fault. But don't fall off the roof. So that's my rant on that. But when we're doing gingerbread, we're going to do the hips, or the ridges, and the ridge, and I'm going to do the valley on this one. A lot of times we don't do the valleys on them. I want to see what it looks like on my house, and that way I can say, do valleys or not. I think it might look good. It might just help pop some light, but I'm going to show you how we do this, and I'll show you from how we start from just the front line of a house, and if we want to add gingerbread later, how we can do that. So what I did here is I actually did my gutter line. I did all my gutter line first, and I'm like, you know what, people have been asking me about gingerbread, so I'll do my house in gingerbread. I have never done the house in gingerbread. I've done lights out front. I was like, I'll do my house in gingerbread. Heck with it. Maybe I want to see how it looks, and it's a cool look, I'll keep it. If not, I won't do it next year. But I wanted just to see how it looked up here and at night. And I will, if you wait till the end of this video, I will do the end of this video at night to show you what it looks like at night. So what I did is, right down here, you can see that my gutter line, I had a female. So all I had to do is hook a male in it, and these are gonna just slide up. Now, I know I say on a lot of times, I always point my bulbs down, but on gingerbread, you have to point them up, because up on the ridge, they gotta be pointed up, and over there, you can't see them. So on gingerbread houses, I point all my lights up. Everything gets pointed up. Nothing gets pointed down on gingerbread. Now, if it's not gingerbread, I point them down. But if it's a gingerbread house, I point them up. That way, they all look the same. So they just slide right up under the shingle here. When we get up here to the shingle, or to the ridge cap, this is called the ridge cap right here. They usually put shingles on it. Usually they'll do it all the way across. This one they didn't. I don't know why, they just didn't. But what we're gonna do is we can lift real easy right here, and these come up. If they don't, so how they install these is this is a third of a shingle. They'll take a shingle and cut this third of a shingle. So this is the whole length, they cut this. And what this is this is 1/3. So what they'll do is they'll take a nail and nail it right here and right here. And when they nail it there, they're gonna nail it on both sides of it there. When they nail it there, this shingle here is gonna seal across. So we don't wanna pull up right there underneath that shingle. We can pull up underneath where it's right here, no problem. But we don't wanna break this shingle up right here, because then that's when we're gonna cause damage to the shingle. As long as we go right up underneath there like so, and it slides right up under there perfectly. I gotta put a bulb in this one. It was out. I gotta put a bulb in it, but so that is that. Now I'm gonna show you how to do it on the ridge cap. It's also called a ridge cap. It's aluminum. Magnet's not gonna stick to it. It would be nice if it would, but a magnet's not gonna stick to it. Now this is a little bit tougher. So with this, our clips will slide up underneath of it and catch the lip, and that's all we need. A lot of times on these ridge caps, they'll be plastic, and when they're plastic, they got a little mesh underneath of them, and what they'll do is they'll take the shingle like I just showed you, and they'll lay a shingle over this all the way down through there. And when they do that, you can just clip right underneath the shingle like we did over there. All right, in the valleys can be all kinds of different things. In the valley, they can have a metal, I say metal, it's usually aluminum, or it can be metal if it's older. It's a metal piece of stuff, and they actually keep the shingle short. And the thought behind it is that way the water can run down and not get caught on the shingles. Now, they've done some different things. Like this one, actually they'll put the shingle underneath here. They'll lay the shingle on top and cut this shingle straight down here, and that gives it the straight edge. And that's what makes it look good. So what we can do is we can just lift up that shingle just a little bit. You can see this whole thing is moving. So I can just lift this up here, and I can put my lights right across through here. Okay, the other thing you have to worry about gingerbread is the way your power is running. You want to make sure that if something comes unplugged, you're not going to have a live male. And the reason why that gets a little complicated is I'm going to show you. So we started right here. We came up here, going along this ridge right here, going along the ridge, going along the ridge, going along the ridge. Yep, we're still going along the ridge here. Once we get here to this end of the ridge here, we cut down here. We cut down here. We go down here, and you can see I didn't have enough cord there, and I've had to cut it again. And you want to make sure that if this stuff comes unplugged, that we have a male. And actually, I ran one here, right here, coming this way. I actually ran this ridge here on power at the top of the roof that's going back this way. So you just got to make sure, and what I mean is, let's see if I can find a good one that I can show you here. I unplugged this here, and this is a female, and this is a male. I can touch this and not worry about getting shocked. We don't want this to be a male when that comes undone. And I know people be like, yeah, that's simple to know. I'm telling you, this is something that you will forget, and you get going, and you'll have a male here, and you unplug this, it can cause two things. It can get up against here, and now water can get in here and make this a circuit right here and start a fire. That's worst case scenario. Or it can maybe pop the breaker. It can shock you. It can do all kind of bad things. So that is why when we're doing gingerbread, that is something we have to worry about shocking you. So I just wanted to give you what this looks like at night with me and gingerbread. It actually looks pretty cool, and I kind of like the valleys being lit up also, so I wanted to just give you a show what it looks like. All right, you can see that we did the whole gingerbread up the top. I got one ball out I'm gonna have to go up and fix. Went back the ridges. I did come down the valley, and that actually makes it look pretty cool. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do a door. If you want to know how to do lights around the window, check this video out. If you want to know how to do lights around the door, check this video out. And if you want to know how to do lights around the garage door, check this lights out.